County westbound at about 100 miles an hour. So we caught up to it very quickly because it was coming right at us. And when he got to the 710 from the 60, that's when he made that transition southbound onto the 710. But if this started
what kind of car is this? I think it's silver this time. I was off the air for 10 seconds. 10 fucking seconds.
But for now, continuing southbound on the 710 freeway coming through East LA.
All right, hearing from our news desk that apparently reckless driving was the initial reason, as you
What did I just say? I need to go to bed. And there's another, this is the other chase, guys.
On the freeway as we continue right now, coming up at almost 11:30 on a Friday.
11:30 p.m. Chase number 2, just to reset here. This is another chase. This is the one that Eliana was referencing that started in Downey. This is the one that was in Lakewood. The Lakewood department is still going. Eliana got down to Downey for this one.
That is a great question, Kathy. So
We're
in this
back
case,
again.
because it
Yes.
is
Reckless driving is the one here. Much more intense rates of speeds.
Boogity,
Boogity, boogity, boogity!
It's not even a proper
For the second time in the last hour, let's go chasing here. Eliana Moreno on the call. News Chopper 4. We are in Southgate, Downey area, getting off the 710 southbound.
And now that we appear to be exiting onto surface streets, that really makes me worry because now you're going to have cross traffic, you're going to have pedestrians, you're going to have
Night sun overhead. All roads lead to Downey, my friends. This one a lot more intense than the one we just signed off with. I could have kept that fucking stream going. Of course. Now I got to start over again. Oh my god, look at the speeds on this one. 80 miles an hour. 80 miles an hour. He doesn't have lights on. He doesn't have lights on, I don't think. I think he has the fog lights on. We're into the 11:30 hour here, so we're running late with the 11 o'clock news. 2:30 Eastern, but this chase is a lot more intense than the last one. Chase number 3 on the day. Chases breed chases.
Right now, but again, Eliana, as you said, when they get off and they are on these side streets, it gets more dangerous now.
Silver Dodge Chargers, some damage potentially to the front left.
And they are, is it a situation where they can start to look at a pit maneuver in this case? They don't know who the driver of this car is.
Yes, long time no see, people. All of 15 seconds before another chase happened, because chases breed chases. Every time we take a turn like that, every time opening up for a pit maneuver. If this person is not armed, we could... Eliana's echoing exactly what I said. Potential pit maneuver set up here, and that looks like a pit certified cruiser into a dead end.
So let's see if he's able to navigate through this. If he's able to navigate through this alley, that would lead me to believe that you probably
no, don't make a
know
left.
this area pretty well.
That's not the way to go.
If I didn't know that I was going to be able to work my way out of it, and in this case, this guy was able to do just that. So perhaps this is the area that he's familiar with in Southgate, despite this starting all the way in Pomona.
Yeah, we say that just because 9 times out of 10 we've seen that over and over and over, where they go to a place they know and can navigate themselves.
You guys thought that you could sign off and it would be the end of the night. Did someone tell you to go to bed? I sure as hell didn't. Welcome back. Kelly V222 in the chat. Appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Taco Truck on the road. CBC Chases Breed Chases. Now 11:32 p.m. Come back to us, Ellie.
We have to apologize. We've lost Eliana at this point.
NBC, come through. Cross the train tracks. We are still in the Southgate Downey area.
We can see that driver now looking to make a left turn.
Yeah, he just made a left turn here onto a smaller street.
This is why Eliana and NBC killed the stream before Desmond on the first chase, because she wanted to get down to this one ASAP. That's right. You don't go to bed until we're done. This can go all the way to midnight. We've seen Eliana out past midnight before.
If he does go, there's a big rig blocking exactly what I was
Oh my God.
about.
What? There's a big rig. That's a big Dodge Charger. Oh! Wow.
Good thing he saw him. Good thing he saw him. That would have been bad. But continuing on Salt Lake Avenue.
That could have been final destination. 70 miles an hour on these side streets.
Surface streets here in Southgate.
All right, so what they can do right now, follow the driver, keep up with these speeds, and try to come to a resolution.
Chases breed chases as people continue to trickle back here into the chat. Yes, this is live. You're not watching a replay. As soon as I signed off, there was another chase that Eliana got to, Silver Dodge Charger. 3rd chase of the day, 2nd of the night, CBC forever. You thought you were going to bed? You thought the
actually
entertainment
not
for the
staying
night was
behind the
over?
car
Not here in Los
at
Angeles on
all.
a Friday night.
The
I told you,
coach has
that was a
asked
stop
the
sign, by
airship
the way.
follow him,
All you got to do is
and
go to
the
Downey,
airship would
California,
even
and you will
turn
see
its lights
chases
on
all day.
so that this guy will think, hey, I've lost the police. I'm good. I'm just going to go home. And when they do, that's when police would swarm in because the airship will still be there. They'll continue to track him even though he doesn't see them. So if it gets to that situation, they could go into what's called
Let the
surveillance
dog
mode,
go
where
on.
you wouldn't see the units.
Let the
They
dog
will be there,
watch.
but they might be a mile behind.
Whoever
And
said that
just
in the
swoop
chat.
in when the time is right. But
Oh,
for now,
oh,
the
oh,
CHP
oh,
officer
oh.
really not giving this guy any room. No
Oh,
room to breathe
he almost did a
as, he
pile
just makes
drive
this
pit
turn here on
maneuver
Florence
there.
Avenue.
Yeah, that officer was right on the
Just like
tail.
we saw
I
with the
almost thought they were
Anaheim
gonna try to
PD
pit
driving
maneuver at
through.
that point, but they are staying with him. They're letting that driver know that they are right there. They're not giving up, at least not at this point. And again, we're on Florence Avenue, as you said. We are going to keep following this right now as we see what the driver does next.
Oh my God,
And
look at
see
that.
if
That was a
he's
solid
right
red
behind
light
him.
that we just went through.
Yeah, and again, wanted for reckless driving out of Pomona, making his way onto the 60 and the 710 freeways at about 100 miles an hour before exiting here onto surface streets in the Southgate area. Again, CHP in pursuit.
All right, Eliana, thank you so much. We'll have more on our app, NBCLA.com. The Tonight Show is coming up next.
What? Don't you dare. It's gonna switch back. It's gotta switch back. Don't make me switch here. Okay, we're back. Back to the.
And this is talk about coordination. You mentioned the CHP. You mentioned.
Okay, it's Stream on
Pomona.
Watch, and we're going to
just a minute, Desmond.
CBS
We're going to
LA.
tell our viewers right now that they will
Going to Sky
have the
Cal.
opportunity to watch Stephen
No, go back to
Colbert
Eliana.
on CBS. But we are going to continue this coverage of this high-speed pursuit on KCAL Channel 9. So we invite our viewers to join Stephen Colbert. The rest to please join us on KCAL
They're all switching
Channel
to
9.
the.
And we have this breaking news we've been talking about.
They're all
this
switching
high-speed
to the.
pursuit.
Oh my
And
God!
it
Almost
has
a
been
pit
high
maneuver
speeds.
right there.
Right now you're looking at relatively lower speeds that we've seen all evening long. And we want Desmond Shaw to pick up this pursuit because, Des, you have a lot of information to decipher here. We were talking about the CHP being involved, this starting in Pomona. So at one point they were involved. Now, Southgate Police Department has been notified. However, as you have told us before, when the CHP takes up a chase, you know, they're on it until they give it up. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, sometimes they just aren't interested once something is on surface streets for a long time. I'd have thrown something out the window. I just saw kind of something getting kicked up there. Not positive, but I just denoted that. But because of, you know, now the want of this, so it was basically, you know, felony evading, but they're saying that the suspect, apparently Pomona relaying to CHP that
Hard left turn.
That this person was seen coming away from a known gang hangout in the Pomona area. And so
Known
that is now
gang
what really has
hangout.
the authorities' attention on this. It
Ends
just, I
up
guess it's
in
making them
Downey,
wonder
and
if
these
this might
these
be
officers are
a
not in
known
any mood
suspect
to
that
let this
they
go.
now, you know, want to bring into custody because now with that wrinkle, it's a lot more now than. Well, I mean, at first it
I
was.
feel like they almost
speeding,
always
which was just, you know,
originate in
infraction,
East
then
LA.
Became felony evading, and now you know what else is bubbling underneath the surface. CHP and Pomona would definitely like to know if they can get this driver pulled over, and you know, hopefully without them crashing into any innocent people. We were over 100 miles an hour on the freeway. We saw that maneuver trying to get around that big rig that was kind of cattywampus in the middle of the intersection there. And they are also driving a decently capable vehicle here.
Yeah, that's a Dodge
Infiniti
Charger.
Sedan, I believe. Yes, we can get a pretty good look at it right here. And, you know, pretty good sports suspension, pretty good acceleration.
Those Dodge Chargers
as
do
well.
have good sports
And,
suspension.
But, you know, CHP, their cruisers are modified for these kind of pursuits as
CBC
well.
indeed.
So
If you're just getting back in here,
problem
this
keeping up
is
with this
another
vehicle
chase
if they want
tonight.
to take this
Silver
one all the
Dodge
way. There you see
Charger on the
Sheriff's
run.
Deputy's helicopter, which is still overhead on this one. We've been telling you recently how
Friday night.
CHP has been
We do
a
not
little bit
go
more
home till the
frugal
choppers
with their
do.
flight time,
I know it's
and
late.
how
Some of
if
you
there's
just
already
come back from the
helicopter in
bar,
air, that they
2:38
would kind of
a.m.
like to just
Eastern.
keep it that way without having to dispatch their own helicopter.
We don't
so
choose the chase life, it chooses us.
Sheriff's deputies from the air, CHP now on the ground, but
that's what I like to tell
circling
myself.
around, but 55 miles an hour on these little residential streets, these dark streets, they're narrow, and are they going to get out and run, or what are they going to do right here? But a much more aggressive tact from that earlier pursuit, that's for sure, Pat.
Yeah, and you're right about that. And Desmond, sometimes, of course, we have seen them back off, especially if this is speed. But you mentioned the gang activity or possible gang activity that
No, this is the only chase going on right now.
Why CHP is continuing?
Only chase going on at the
that's
moment.
getting pretty close here. Let's see what he's going to do.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get.
Yeah, a little bit boxed in right now. I'm sure this is going to be making them very nervous.
Whoa.
And let's see if CHP is going to try to take this
Whoa.
opportunity.
Huh?
Box them in.
They're going to try and box him in around those civilian Dodge Chargers. And now they're moving in. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
And boy, kudos to CHP. They did not hesitate at all. They just came right up and grabbed him out of the vehicle.
There was no protocol on that one. CHP said this chase is over.
Really crazy. That's not something that we typically see from an agency. They don't know if someone's armed and dangerous. They were talking about possible.
And now here it comes. They're boxing him in. Those civilian Dodge Chargers are getting out of the way.
Game over. Suspect instantly in custody now. Looks like the one person in the car. And just like that, Pat, 15 seconds ago, we were in a pursuit. 20 seconds later, we have a code 4 here on Florence and Stanford in the Southgate area.
That's one of the best takedowns that we've seen.
How did they extracted him from the car? They ejectocetoed him.
They just pulled up alongside him.
Drop your fours in the chat. We are code 4.
Like you say, they were not playing around. This was like Friday night shenanigans are over. Went up to the vehicle.
They were not messing around that whole chase. Any opportunity they got to get that guy out of there, they were going to take it.
And as you mentioned,
here's a replay on the right side of your screen if you're just joining us. Look at this. They even opened it. Why is that door not locked? They just walk up there and just say, "You're done here, sir. This game is over."
Yep. That's
Felt like the end of the first Saw movie.
Well, Desmond, and with that, sir, I'm going to wish you a good night.
Is it?
A good Easter weekend, and let you call this a code 4.
It's a code 4, Pat. The good news, we still have time to make a data now tonight, so enjoy.
All right. Thanks so much, Desmond. And thank you for watching us tonight. We are streaming.
Okay, is it finally safe to leave? Can we please be allowed to go to bed? This has been a crazy week of chases. We've had at least one every day. What a fucking night, man. Oh my God. The moment I pressed stop streaming that I did before, instantly, Eliana was live. Chases breed chases. It's crazy how that works, right? Because the choppers are already in the air. And when you have all 4 news networks up, when there are multiple chases that are happening concurrently, they can get from chase to chase. That's why I tell you chases breed chases. Most of the time, those choppers are stationed at base, and it takes them 20, 30 minutes to get there, and the chase has to last a really long time. And then they have to be able to stay up there long enough. And then there's another chase, because it's a Friday night in LA. Spooky hours. CBC. I think that's it for tonight. I think. I normally would say see on the timeline, but I'm afraid to hit the stop streaming button. I've got I'm waiting on the scanner to buzz again. Got another one. My head hurts. I'm going to try and say goodbye and goodnight, but in case there is a third chase here in the 11 o'clock news hour, you know where to find me. You got to be following that Twitter account because Twitch notifications, they're not going to be able to see this. They won't even know there's a chase. Too bad for them. I tried to warn them. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. See you on the timeline.